Lori Brooks here with Nature Glow's eScience. Is your homeschool struggling with math anxiety? Let me tell you a story. When I was in second grade, my teacher gave us math homework, and it was covered in like 20 addition and subtraction problems. I wasn't paying any attention in school, so I just filled it out any old way, just put any old answer down. And I handed the paper back to her. And when she returned it to me, it was covered in red X's. And I just stood there with my mouth open, my eyes staring back at her like a deer in the headlights. And that was the beginning of math anxiety for me. And it wasn't until about third grade that I started to shed that a little bit. I was put in a foster home with a more stable living environment, and I started to learn my multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division. I had a special affinity for learning multiplication and division. It just came to me more than addition and subtraction did for me, for whatever reason. But I hit math anxiety again when I was in middle and high school with the higher maths, with especially algebra. It was just hair pulling for me. And I wasn't getting it. I was scoring, just kind of average, below average, 70s, 60s, 70s on my test. And I felt just really low. I felt like I was dumb. And whenever I would take a test, I would just start sweating and my heart would pound. So that's an example of math anxiety. And how many of you had that? If you're watching this, I'm guessing that you have, or one of your children, or maybe all of your children have homeschool math anxiety. So it wasn't until my early 20s that I discovered nature's numbers and patterns and real life connections with math. By the way, if you're new to my channel, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Love to have you join me. So I was teaching in 3rd through 5th grades, and we had a health and wellness teacher come to our school to do a series of seminars named Don Tolman. And he reintroduced, at this point, I was in my early 30s. It had been almost a decade after I had first learned about nature's numbers and patterns, like the golden ratio and Fibonacci numbers and patterns in nature, which totally enthralled me, but I couldn't find very much information until this next epiphany that occurred when Don Tolman came to our school to teach about nature's numbers and patterns. So what happened was I became so enthralled, and I was a burned out educator. It was my 7th year of teaching. And I got out into nature and I started photographing and journaling about nature's numbers and patterns. And then I introduced it to my students. And I'm actually going to be releasing a brand new guide to you soon to the homeschool community called How to Make Math Fun Through Real Life Connections. And it's a 5 secrets math learning system. And it's everything I've learned boiled down. And I'm really excited to be releasing that to you. If you're interested, you can join my wait list by clicking on the link for my unit study planner that I give you with this post. That will put you on my email list, and you will be hearing from me soon when I release this guide to you. Really super excited about this. It's almost ready. So I have tips in there on how to overcome math anxiety. So you can look forward to that. And yeah. So it's been quite a road for me to, first of all, realize and admit and talk about that I have suffered with math anxiety. So, I'm not going to say it's easy to overcome. It's a process like anything. But, if your child is doing any kind of math testing that's timed, it's best to, if that's breeding anxiety in them, then don't time the test, and I know maybe it might take, hours and hours for them to get through it. But timing things like that at this point in their life will just exacerbate the math anxiety and not help. All right, so be on the lookout. I will be releasing that guide to you soon, inviting you to order that. Super excited. And I have tons of tips in there about, 5 key secrets for overcoming math anxiety and rebuilding a math program in your homeschool that is more natural learning centered. And it's learner centered and learner guided as well. All right, so I don't want to leave this post with you hanging before I give you another juicy tidbit. So the best thing you can do if you and your children are suffering with math anxiety is to just start with deschooling. Just come away from, the whole compulsory math education mindset. Stop using curriculum that's causing you anxiety. Take a break. Okay, juicy tip number 2 is notice math all around you. Notice it, how, like everything in your house right now. The way your house is being held up right now over your head, holding a roof over your head, is based on basic math principles, right? Everything was measured out accurately so that your house can stand on its foundation and the roof stay on the top of your house. All right, so just start looking for math all around you, and you will most likely be amazed at all the places